Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another ECM test. This time is an Cadillac CTS 2011. This computer was sent to me a few months ago for no communication, no start, no fuel pump, no nothing. So I checked the computer here and I said, no, there's nothing wrong with the computer as far as communication, firewall references, and everything. So you can visit that video in my channel if you want to. I'm probably going to put the link on the description so you guys can visit it. Um, as part of the problem they were having, and they didn't explain that to me when they send the computer, is that the computer does not send the start command to the relay, and that was an ongoing situation for years. So they actually put a push button to start a car because the computer is not sending the ground to close the relay or the power to close the relay because I think it's a power side. Let me just visit the diagrams. I have it here is the original wire diagram. I'm going to show you also why it's so important to check your wiring because sometimes originals can have an error or the colored made out diagrams can have the problem. Reason I'm saying this in here, this same computer is is made for very different vehicles. So depends on that vehicle, it will have that signal in another connector. So for myself, because it's very hard sometimes to really find out which connector is which, I did this. So those are connector X1, X2, and X3. They're all 73 pin connectors as you can see in there, and I made all those numbers, and to make it easy for me I found all the connections that I need. The only one that I didn't have, because at that time I was just checking a dead computer, right? It was a starter signal. So going back into Identifix, using the original wire diagram, we can see that this vehicle is the LF1. This is again a Cadillac CTS 3.0. So, and you can see it says LF1. So we need to use that one specifically. So the starter relay command, which if we follow here, follow that red arrow I have in the screen, we can see that we got a ground on the one side on pin 85. So the 86 has to be power, right? To control the circuit and then send the power for the starter, right? So my concern is, and the customer concern is in here. So we can see that says connector X1 pin 63. But look what happened. So I'm going to go over to the wire diagram. If I go over to the color wire diagram, which I have saved in here, again, same thing from Identifix, but this is not Identifix made. I think that these diagrams are made by Bosch, honestly, because it's the same if you go over to Protoman or all that and you use the color wire diagrams, they all have the same error. So this is, remember, is a 3.0 engine. Look what it says in here. So I'm going to point with my fingers, starter relay control, connector X2, pin 63. That's wrong, completely wrong. What would happen if I put that in there? Well, let me show you. What is in pin 63 on connector X2? If we see here, that is a voltage, sorry, a grounds, is a ground for the manifold absolute pressure sensor. So if we were to be to connect something into that, in this case, I would probably not damage anything because I am always protecting myself using a load. When you put a bulb in between, it doesn't matter what you put them in here, it's going through a resistance. So it's kind of like a stepping it down. And no matter what, I am supplying a ground because the computer is supposed to provide power. We can definitely see something wrong because as you can see this bulb is halfway lit. That should not happen because it's not being activated. So I selected the vehicle. We have everything that, and thank you Top Down, Phoenix Max and Top Down for sending me this beautiful scanner that I have been using every single day since I got it. This is my go-to tool. It's a very great tool, recommended 100%. I have done, I mean, it has never let me down. The only time that I didn't use it is when I'm working in Force and I have to do a beam rewrite. But besides that, I'm using always this tool. All right, so but in here, what I want to do is click in here on, and as you can see, it's changing the status as on, but nothing is happening on this. So no power. And I can then in here, let me just put a multimeter so we can see a visual. Well, I share my mind and I just put the oscilloscope. I think that's the best way to see what we have here. So this is a signal or some sort of a power that even with the relay not being command on is there. So as you see, I always use my oscilloscope because it's just the best visual to kind of like check what we have here. So let's do a zoom on that signal. It's a weird looking signal. Let me apply just a filter because I have not done a filter in here. So we can uh, put this as a low speed signal, but something is there. Um, I have all the grounds. Let me make sure I have the yellow ground. Yeah, all the grounds are, oops, they're not connected. So give me 1 second. All right, so yes, definitely was my ground not installed properly, but yeah, that's good because so definitely we have voltage in there when it's not supposed to have any. So let me change the um, filter to around 40 to 50 kilohertz. That's plenty for, I mean, this is not a on and off signal, any change, but let me try to activate that. Device limit exceeded. So sometimes does that. I don't know why. So let's put the starter relay again. But what we can see is without being even being commanded, we have in here a total of 2.48. You can see that right there, almost 2.5 volts. And that's not a bias voltage because we can see that it's able to lead a little bit this bulb. So that is definitely a voltage that is being supplied. So yes, I'm able to reproduce. So you see command on, and we don't see any difference on here. Command off, and it changes. So I'm sorry, this is sometimes very bright, but we can see that nothing is changing in there, and it's running. I have like 1 second per division. So again, on. I have to go out again. Just got to give it a chance. But nothing is changing. I mean, no command in here. Command on and nothing on the screen. So definitely this is to reproduce his concern. I'm gonna have to open the computer and see what I found. So this is part one, just test to reproduce a customer concern, and definitely I can. Now let's see if we can fix this up. All right, guys. So I will be trying to keep you through the entire process, how I repair this computer. This computer has never been opened, so it's going to be a little hard to do. You have to provide or heat up the computer while you are opening the edge. You have to be very careful with these computers. I think I have maybe a picture of one open. Actually, I lie. I did open this computer last time, so perfect. So that will probably make it a lot easier for me to just, you always have to apply heat to these computers and then find out what the problem might be on the board. These are, I can zoom in, and this is what I love to take pictures with higher resolution to, provide where the pins might go. A little hard to say on this one, even though I try to always, because my main goal is to get positions of components and everything. But, looking at the computer, so we are in connector in the center connector, so that's actually good to see. And we will be on the last row. So it's one of these rows kind of like in the middle. So we are going to be working in this area probably. And then 62, so 53, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3. So this is pin 63. So this is the pin that we will be working on. Hopefully everything is on this side of the board and I can check everything here. So I was trying to quiet my dog. It's Halloween, so yeah, he is barking at everyone, and every time that doorbell rings. But yeah, so hopefully we are working on this area. I know exactly where we are in here. So this might be the IC that commands one of these relays or transistors, right? So same thing, right? It's a switch. But yeah, we might have in here. What I think is hard to say because I cannot see the numbers, but this might be an operational amplifier, and that's what usually they do. They just command, but usually they don't go through straight to here. This will command in here and then send the signal, but we'll see. A little too soon to say, but yeah, this is the way this computer looks open, and hopefully everything is on this side, and I don't have to remove the other side because that's the one is very hard and very prone to destroy the computer when you try to do any repairs on the other side. All right, guys, thank you so much for visiting the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye.